What's up guys, Spin Firearms here, and today we're going to be talking about why my favorite everyday carry choice is not my go-to carry choice for work. And that being said, the Glock 26 is my favorite firearm of all time, ever. It's my most carried, and I absolutely love the thing. And I've explained why in other videos, but we might touch on it a little bit. But this is the Glock 26 that I've been carrying the most lately. It's super accurate, super easy to shoot, super easy to learn. Just added some grips to it, a base plate, some different sights, but the thing runs flawlessly, and that's what I love. I also love the fact that it's got a 3.5-inch barrel, so it's not too uncomfortable. It's also not a 3-inch barrel. On top of that, you can throw in a flush 10-round mag all the way down to a 33-round mag. But if I love this firearm so much, why isn't this my work carry? And we're going to get into that. But before we get started, hit the like button, drop a comment down below, let me know in the comments what kind of videos you want to see, let me know what you were carrying today, what kind of holster, what kind of defensive ammo, and so on. But anyways, this is my Smith & Wesson M&P 40 Shield 2.0. I know a lot of times in the comments people say, oh, you always talk about the fact you converted to 357 SIG. So yes, I converted to 357 SIG. I added a mag guts kit, so it's 7+1 of 357 SIG, and I use Civil Liberty defense rounds, which are some of the best defensive rounds out there. They're specialty rounds. They're lighter. They're about a third of the weight, maybe even half the weight of your average 9mm or 40 or even 357 SIG round, making it very easy to carry throughout the day, very light, and so on. But the reason why I don't carry the Glock 26, or the Block 26 as some people call it, is simply that. It is a block. It is a heavier firearm. Obviously, it was designed in 1994, released in 1994, so it is heavier. It's thicker. It's just an overall bulkier firearm, right? And on top of that, when you do have that ammo loaded up, it is heavier because this is a 12-round setup, or you can use the flush 10-round mags, but it'll still be heavier. But the overall firearm without rounds is much heavier. It's also much thicker. Now, I've tried pocket carrying the Glock 26, and I used to do it, but on top of that, it takes a specific type of pants, a specific types of shorts, and on top of that, you do realize yourself pulling your pants up a little more often with a Glock 26. It just is what it is. But this is my go-to outside of work. When I go to work, I do new construction plumbing, so I need to be able to bend, lift stuff, crouch, climb up ladders. I have to be able to be active. I have to be able to move around. I have to be able to get where I'm going and be comfortable all day. A big thing over here on this channel is speaking to you guys about making your life easier when it comes to everyday carry. Carrying stuff that you feel comfortable with, managing what situations you're in. Think about my work situation, right? People tend to get along. There's no fights. There's no ridiculous people. Nobody acting a fool, acting like an idiot. So it tends to be a safer environment. So yes, I feel 100% able to defend myself if I had to with a 7+1 setup. 8 rounds of 357 SIG and a backup mag, you're going to be just fine. When I compare these two and I hold them, yes, they look similar in size, but when you go to the width is a big difference. On top of that, just the overall weight. I do know that my Glock 26 would run under super dirty conditions, which would be perfect for this. But on top of that, they're more expensive. They're $500, $600, and some builds I have, go all the way up to, $1,500 or whatever the case may be. Whereas this, I got for $300. And I just changed out the base plate to add some looks to it, the back plate, and on top of that, the barrel, right? But for $300, that is the perfect amount of money to spend on a firearm that you are going to abuse, that you're going to beat up, but it's still going to run. The M&P Shield's been around for a long time, and the parts are everywhere. It's similar to Glock. Glock has more part availability than anybody else in the world, but the M&P line does have that part availability as well, making it very easy if you ever need to swap out a part, something gets ruined, whatever the case may be. But I just feel like a $300 setup of a reliable platform, simply because stuff like the Hellcat, the P365 came out, all these other firearms that came out and lowered the value of a once very popular firearm, makes it a great pickup for me. Something I have no problem getting beat up, scratched up, getting dirty, all that. But at the same time, this is a great round. On top of that, when it gets cold in the winter and I'm driving to and from work, or I have to stop and get gas, so on, I know that 357 SIG is going to be a powerful enough round if I had to defend myself, God forbid, to go through Carhartt jackets, bibs, thick coats that people are wearing when it's really cold out. And so I just think it's the perfect middle ground. It's not too small. It's not a pocket pistol because, in my opinion, a lot of these pocket pistols are made cheap. I hate to say it. Even though mine have been pretty good, pretty reliable, the LCP is a cheap firearm. The Bodyguard is somewhat made cheap. It just is what it is. The Taurus Spectrum, made cheap. The Diamondback DB9 is made cheap. That's why they're smaller, or that's why they're cheaper firearms altogether. They're just made cheap. So in my pocket, I want something that is battle tested, battle proven, and can take an absolute beating. Because I have a strong feeling that those pocket pistols can't take a beating like this experience is while I'm at work. Now, so far, it looks so good. It's not wearing out. The finish is done pretty well. The barrel's held up. No rust, nothing like that, because I do pocket carry this. It goes in my pocket. I've tried carrying every single way at work, and it's just uncomfortable as can be. The only way I found to carry at work where I can still access and draw my firearm quick enough to where I can lose that holster in my pocket, get on target fast enough, is pocket carry. That's the only way to be comfortable. Otherwise, you are sacrificing being comfortable all day, and if you do something for 55, 60 hours a week uncomfortable, you're going to start to not like your life very much. So that is why I choose the M&P 40 Shield. It's light, it's thin, it's reliable, and with the rounds I put in this thing, it definitely has the ability to defend yourself in any situation, in any season, regardless of any type of clothes, and so on. With that being said, if I did a different job, or I had something where I was less active, had to do less activity, stuff like that, I'd be carrying my Glock 26, because these can take a beating. These last a long time. These can endure heavy round counts. And on top of that, what I love about the Glocks are your magazine compatibility is not only the greatest thing, but also your aftermarket support. You can literally carry these anyway from any holster company with any light options. I mean, it's just, they're the most popular. Therefore, the Glock 26 is my carry outside of work, as well as that Hellcat that you see right there. But when it comes down to it, at work, this is what I'm going with. I trust it with my life. I know many people that I talk to on here that have the Shield M40, or they've converted to 357 SIG, and they absolutely love it. They trust it, and that's actually their main carry. And I have no problem with that. I did add the whole grip to it, just because the Smith & Wesson Shields are a little too thin for my liking, and they're thin in a weird way. So with the whole grip, it just gives me that good overall ergonomics, but on top of that, it does help recoil a little bit, which is always nice with 357 SIG. But to answer your question, that is why I don't carry my Glock 26 at work. It's just thinner, a cheaper package, easier to conceal, and on top of that, when you pocket carry, thickness really matters. And so when you look at it like this, yeah, thickness isn't that big of a difference, I guess, now that I look at it. But when it really comes down to it in your pocket and you have to fit another layer of a holster over it, it really matters. Like this would probably be the thickness of the Glock 26 with a holster on it, if that makes sense. Because I use Kydex pocket holsters from either Vetter or Hawk holsters. But I appreciate you guys watching. Hit the like button, drop a comment, and subscribe. Thanks, guys.